President Obama and his family decided that as part of their summer they would actually visit the national parks because it is a unifying American idea, fundamentally democratic, and very much a part of our future.
I have great memories of being here. My grandma, my mom, and my sister, who was with us today. She was 2 at the time. Yeah, we traveled throughout the country the entire summer, and this was our last stop and my favorite stop.
The national parks, to me, I think, are studies in leadership. How presidents have related to the national parks have been in some ways defining aspects of their larger leadership quality.
Well, I think it's always special when a president visits anywhere. Chester A. Arthur was the first to visit Yellowstone in 1883. President Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt came in 1903. Then in 1923, Warren Harding. In 1927, Silent Calvin Coolidge visited us. Then in 1937, FDR, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt came.
President Franklin D. Roosevelt, swinging through the West on a campaign tour, took time out for a visit to Yellowstone National Park. An exponent of conservation, Mr. Roosevelt backed many measures aimed at enlarging our national forests and preserving wildlife. This was a moment of relaxation amid the scenes he loved.
This is a moment that I've been looking forward to for a long, long time. To return to Yellowstone, where I spent one of the greatest summers of my life.
Gerald Ford was an interesting example of a president because he had been a park ranger in Yellowstone. Then after Ford, Jimmy Carter came to Yellowstone and was again fishing. That was his primary focus. After Carter, George Herbert Walker Bush, who came to Yellowstone in 1989. Bill Clinton was here twice.
Yellowstone is the symbol of our national parks because it's the oldest one and the first one in the history of the world.
And then after Bill Clinton, of course, we had President Barack Obama.
You know, the thing I remember most was, driving by and seeing it was elk. And I remember bison. And in fact, I ran up close to a bison. So I took pictures of it.
It's never a good idea to approach bison closely.
The Recovery Act has been a real boom for us. It's been welcome dollars. The great thing about the way the National Park Service and Yellowstone approached the Recovery Act, the funding with that is we lined up a variety of projects that we already had in the queue of things that we wanted to do.
The notion that collectively we come together and we say, we're going to preserve some things that last beyond our individual lives, that we're going to pass that on, and that we have to do it together. That's part of what is hopefully best about our government. And so every once in a while we need the ability to step back from our personal wants and project something finer and better for future generations. That's what the Park District's all about.